Okay, so I'm going to use this app because I like it, to go over the long division process. So that's the one with our really fun clam video that everybody loved so very much, where we remember the order is to divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Okay, and this one is tricky at first, and it takes some practice and really going through all of the steps. Um, you're certainly not required to do it if you like to do the big seven. That's cool with me. Um, you have to pick a strategy that works for you, and what makes sense for you. So let's just go through this one. I'll do two examples and you can follow along. So we're going to do 226 divided by 5. So my first step, and I'll try to color code this, is I have to ask myself, how many groups of 5 go into 2? Well, if I only have 2, I can't fit 5 into 2. So the answer would be 0. So that's my first divide. Now I'm going to multiply. Okay, I'm going to multiply 0 times 5. So 0 times 5 is 0. So that's my multiply. Now I'm going to subtract. That's my S. 2 minus 0 is 2. And now I'm going to bring down the next digit, which happens to be a 2 in this case. So now I start the process again. And now my question is, how many times does 5 go into 22? So I have to think about my multiplication facts. So 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. Remember, it can't go over. It has to be as close to possible. So my solution here would be that it's 4, because that gets me as close to 22 as possible without going over. So I've divided. Now I'm going to multiply. So 4, we're here. We're doing 4 times 5 is 20. Now we're going to subtract. 22 minus 20 is 2. And I'm going to bring down the 6. And so we've done that. Now we'll do one more because I have this last digit. So now the question is, how many times does 5 go into 26? Well, we just did 5 times 4 was 20. So 5 times 5 is 25. If I do 5 times 6, that'll be 30. It's too much. So we'll do 5 times 5. So that's my divide. It goes 5 times. Now I'm going to multiply. 5 times 5 is 25. Now I subtract. 26 minus 25 is 1, and bring down. But there's nothing left to bring down, so I'm done. So there's nothing left to bring down, and I end up with this remainder down here. I end up with this. Let me move my screen a little bit for you. This is what I do. I sing when I do math because math is so cool. I end up with a remainder of 1. Okay, so my remainder is 1. That just means I have 1 left over that can't fit equally into this anywhere. So that's my answer for that one. I'll clear the screen. We'll do one more. Okay, so you don't have to write out the DMSB, but I find when learning it, it's usually the best strategy is to have it written down. All right, let's do another one. We'll do, I don't know. What do I want to do? Let's do this. We'll do 643 divided by 7. All right, so following the process, I'm looking here. How many groups of 7 fit into 6? None, right? I can't fit 7 things into, let's go to the egg carton. I can't fit 7 eggs in a carton that can only hold 6 eggs. So it's a 0. Now we will multiply. Okay, so we divided. Now I'm going to multiply. 0 times 7 is 0. 6 minus 0 is still 6. And bring down my 4. So I subtracted and brought down. So 7, and now I have 64. So this is my new number where I'm starting the process again. So I say, well, how many times does 7 go into 64? I'm going to start at something friendly. I'm going to start with 5 because 5s are easy for me. So 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 8 is 56. And 7 times 9 is 63. That's cool. It must be 9. So we'll do our 9 here because it's close to 64 without going over. Now we multiply. 9 times 7 is 63. 64 minus 63 is 1. That was our subtract. And now I'm going to bring down my 3. And there's my 3. Now I'm asking myself, okay, how many groups of 7 fit into 13? One group of 7, so 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2. 7 times 2 is 14. Well, that's too many. I can't go over. So it has to be 1. So 1, now I've divided. Now I'm going to multiply. 1 times 7 is 7. And when I do 13 minus 7, I get 6. And there's nothing left to bring down, right? I'm all done. There's nothing here. So my answer is 91 with a remainder of 6. Now, one way you can check your work, and I'll erase over here. A question comes up a whole lot of how do I check my work? Well, the opposite of division is multiplication. So if we think of it that way, to check our work, we're going to take our divisor, and this is called the quotient, which is super fancy. We're going to take the answer and our divisor, and we're going to multiply them. Because if I have 91 groups of 7, or 7 groups of 91, I should get to 643. I should get to 643 once I do my multiplication, and because we have a remainder, I'll have to add this leftover in at the end. So let's just do it. So 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 9 is 63. But I had a remainder. I had this remainder right here, so I have to add that 6 back in. And now I can do that. So 7 plus 6 is 13. Carry my 1, or regroup my 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, and 6 plus nothing is that. So I can be confident that my answer is correct because I used the opposite operation, just like we did with, I'll draw this line. So here's my division, and to check it, I did my multiplication. Hopefully that helps you if you're reviewing over the weekend. Remember, take it slow and just step by step by step. That is the best way to learn it, and just concentrate on the process. If you get frustrated, it's okay to walk away, take a break, and then come back to it. Enjoy. I hope this helps.